Hello everyone, welcome back to Practically Perfect in Every Way. 皆さんこんばんは。 Practically Perfect in Every Way へお帰りなさい。Today I'm trying something new. I decided to record this on my walk. Just because I get quite shy recording things in my room when my flatmates are around, and also sometimes when I'm sitting down in a park and recording, I get a bit self-conscious. So I thought that if I record it whilst I'm walking, it's very unlikely that people can hear me. So I'm going to try it. So there might be more outside noise, more wind, but maybe you can enjoy the walk with me, and that could be like a nice background ambience. We shall see. 今回はちょっといつもと違う試みということで、散歩をしながらこれを撮ってみようと思います。やっぱフラットメイトがいるとね、ちょっと部屋で撮るのもちょっと恥ずかしいなと思ったりとか、あと公園でじっと座ってる時も周りの人に聞こえてるんじゃないかなとか思っちゃうので緊張しちゃうので、歩きながらだったらもうちょい気が紛れるかなと思って今日は散歩しながら撮ってみています。その代わりちょっと外のいろんな音が入ってしまうかもしれないんですけど、それもね、雑音ということで雰囲気を醸し出すということで、赤ちゃんが笑っている、かわいい、楽しんでいただければと思います。 Anyways, the topic I wanted to talk about today is how to be happy. Now this is a massive, broad topic, and I know, and I could probably go on about this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, but I'm gonna narrow it down to one idea for today. I'll probably do other episodes, but for today I'm gonna narrow it down to one idea, and that is happiness is an option. You can actually decide to be happy or not, and knowing about this really changed the way I look at my day-to-day life. So I wanted to talk about it. 今日は幸せをつかむ方法ということで、ものすごい広いトピックなんですけれども、多分これ話そうと思ったら永遠に話せるので、今回は一つの考え方だけに絞ります。それは幸せは選択できるという、英語をちょっと直訳してるからうまく伝わってるかわかんないんですけど、幸せは自ら選択できるよっていうアイディアです。Now, first of all, I think in my previous episode I talked about how the world is very grey, and there's not really a black and white way of thinking certain terms like beauty or happiness. And like I said, I really don't think there is a true definition of happiness, and the definition of happiness depends on each individual person. But here's why the idea of happiness is an option comes in. When I talk about how to be happy, there's not really a step-by-step. Wake up at 6 a.m, go and move your body, have a morning routine. It's not that. The reason why I said happiness is an option as an episode of How to Be Happy is because happiness is what you choose to make it out to be. Happiness is not something that falls on your lap. Happiness is not something you go out of your way to grab. Happiness is what you make it. 今回幸せのつかみ方みたいな感じのタイトルにしようかと思ってるんですけど、 幸せっていうね考え方は、私が前に言った通り、前のエピソードでも言ったんですけど、世の中って割とグレーで、あんまりその白黒はっきりしてないから、幸せとは何かって本当に人それぞれだと思うんですよ。でだからこそ、私この幸せは選択肢であるっていうのが、自分で選ぶことができるっていうのはがすごくいい考え方だと思ってて、なぜかっていうと、私はこのじゃあ幸せのつかみ方っていうエピソードの中で、具体的に何かやると幸せになることっていうことは思わないんですよ。その6時に起きて運動、ジムに行って健康的な食事を食べてお金を稼いで、これが幸せであるっていう、そういうのはないと思ってて、あなたが何を幸せと思うのか、あと幸せは別に舞い降りてくるものでもないってね、なんとなく思って、別に舞い降りてくるものでもないし、幸せはつかみに行くものでもないって思ってて、幸せはあなたが何を幸せと思うかが幸せであると思うんですよ。深いね、すごい深いこと言ってる気がする。でも私こういうこと考えるんですよね、たまに。すっごい深いこと考える。もうちょっと深く説明していきますね。So what I mean by that is, obviously there are people who are struggling through really hard situations. So I'm not saying that there might be some people who may struggle to find happiness in their day-to-day life. But I genuinely think that majority of the people in this world are able to find happiness in the mundane, in the little things, in the day-to-day. I really like the idea of writing a gratitude journal, of writing 3 things that made your day worthwhile, or 3 things that made you happy today. And when you actually start to look for happiness in your life, you find it. For example, I made the best coffee for breakfast, or I went on a walk and it felt great and I saw so many cute puppies, or my favorite yogurt was on sale today at the supermarket. Like little things like that normally you would just pass by and don't even recognize. When you actually intentionally look for happiness, you realize that actually a life is full of them. A life is full of happy things. We just completely ignored it. And this is what I mean by happiness is an option. You can decide to look for happy things and actually feel better about yourself and your life. Or you can decide to look for bad things or things that you're unfulfilled and complain and complain and complain. Which would you choose? 私はグラティチュードジャーナルを書く方いっぱいいると思うんですけど、その中のグラティチュード、感謝の気持ちっていうかなを書くのが好きで、一日の終わりにですね、ノートに3つ今日一日幸せだなって思ったこととか、ラッキーって思ったこととか、人生いいねって思わせた瞬間を書くんですよ。でそれをやっていくと筋肉みたいに脳みそがトレーニングされてって、なんか幸せなことを見つけやすくなるんですよね。例えば今日は散歩に行って気持ちよくて可愛いワンコいっぱい見つけたとか、今日朝ごはんに作ったコーヒーめちゃめちゃ上手にできたとか、あとは今日スーパー行ったら自分が大好きなヨーグルトが安くなってたとか、なんか多分普通に生きてたら見過ごしてしまうようなものをわざとこうやって見つけて書き出すことによって、なんだ自分の人生って意外といいじゃんっていう、そういった意味で私は幸せは選択肢であるって思うんですよ。もちろんね、大き きな何かをつかみ取ること、例えば大学院卒業とか大企業に入るとか、目標を立ててそれに向かって一生懸命頑張ってそれを達成したってことによる幸せとかもあると思うんですけど、でもじゃあ人間ってそういうのを達成するまで幸せじゃないのってなっちゃうんですよ。そうじゃなくて、実は幸せって毎日毎日のなんかふとした瞬間にいっぱい紛れ込んでんじゃないのかなってとか言いながらね、私もすっかり忘れても今日最悪って思う日もあるけど、人間なので。でも実はそう幸せってそういう大きな瞬間じゃなくて、その日々の繰り返しの中にある小さな小さなハッピーなんじゃないかなって思います。There's a song by Ben Rector called I Like You. It's a pretty, very cute, sweet love song. I might add it on at the end of this episode actually, but there's a quote from that song that goes, Life is not the mountain tops, it's the walking in between, and I like you walking next to me. And oh my god, I was about to speak in Japanese, and I think that's so true. Like, we tend to set really, you know how we do on the as like our New Year's resolutions, we set really high, I don't know, ambitious goals every year, and then once you achieve it you become happy. But like, I think but then what about the in-between? Yeah, the mountaintop's beautiful, the view from there is beautiful, but what about the walking in between? And that's how I think about it. And I think happiness is not so much about the mountaintops, but it's the walking in between. It's all the things that you do every single day, and all the mundanes and all the little happiness that's hidden in those mundanes. I think that's what really makes us happy, and we have the power to try and look for those happiness rather than ignore them and look for what's wrong and trying to fix what's wrong in our lives. Isn't that cool though? Like, for me, that feels so empowering because I don't need to wait for special something to happen. I can decide and choose to be happy. I can choose to focus on all the positive things and count all the lucky stars and choose to be happy. Isn't that cool? I don't know. I think that's really empowering. I have control over my happiness. 私が好きな曲でベン・レクターの I Like You っていう可愛いラブソングがあるんですけど、そのね曲の途中で、Life is not the mountain tops, it's the walking in between, and I like you walking next to me. 人生は山頂だけじゃないんだよ、その途中の道のりが人生なんだよ、そして君が僕の横をその道のりの間歩いてくれることが何よりも幸せみたいな歌詞があるんですけど、私本当にそうだと思って、なんかこう私たちってどんどん次へと、次はじゃあ何をする、次はどんな目標を達成するのかみたいな、そういうところにばっかり目を向けがちだけど、ね、新年いろいろ目標立てたりするじゃないですか。でも人生って別にその目標を達成した瞬間が幸せなんじゃなくて、その目標を達成するための道のりだったり、毎日コツコツ何かに向かって頑張ることだったり、そういうことに幸せがあるっていう考え方、良くないですか？なんか私、ごめんね、ちょっと雨が降ってきたの。レインコートのフードをあげました。なんかすごい私それって力強いなと思って、別に幸せって自分の外側の人にコントロールされなくていいんですよ。たとえどんだけ辛いことが起きても幸 自分が幸せになるかどうかは自分で決められるんですよ。自分で選べる。自分で幸せなことに目を向ければ、ちっちゃいことでもいいから幸せなものたちに目を向ければ、それだけなんかこう、なんていうんだろう、幸せだなって自分で自分の幸せをつかみ取れるんですよ。何回幸せって言うねこのエピソードって感じなんですけど、なんかそれってすごいなって、なんか強くないですか？たとえ何が起きても私は幸せを選べるって考え方いいなって思って、毎日ねそうなれるわけじゃないけど、私も人間だし落ち込んじゃう日もあるけど、できる限り毎日幸せを見つけられるように目の筋肉を鍛えています。今日は幸せなんだったかなみたいな。The reason why I wanted to talk about this was because I had an experience. I had two friends. One of them, they're both in a very similar situation. So both of them did masters with me, but we all graduated at the same time. But they both struggled to find, like, quote unquote, their dream jobs. So they're working in hospitality, both of them, and like retail. One of them is, their life is hard. They're working 3 jobs. They're running around places trying to make ends meet. But she's always happy because she decides that, okay, yeah, I'm busy, I'm constantly working, but she thinks about the friends she made through work, and she gets excited to see her friends in work, and she thinks about how to spend days when she gets time off, and she makes the most of those days by going out for food with friends, or to hang out with people she loves, or read her favorite books. And I don't know, she's just very, very positive and happy. Even though her life isn't the easiest, she's just very happy, and she's also very, very, very generous. She is so giving to her friends, and she would, even though she's struggling to make her ends meet, she would buy random treats and share it with us, and she would not hesitate to buy something for her friend if she sees something really special at a charity shop or something. And she's just a wonderful person, and I can tell that she really enjoys her life to the fullest. This other friend, she's also on the same boat. She's struggling to find her dream job. She's working 1 retail job. She's got a lot of time to herself, but she is always really sad because she's really focused on about the fact that she doesn't have a job. And because she's really sad, she's having a lot of issues with her friends, and she's starting to isolate herself. And because of the way she feels and how unhappy she is, she also tends to treat people around her a bit poorly. And that's again another reason why she's isolated. And I was looking at those two people who were close to me, and was like, the difference is insane to me. They're both on the same boat. They're both struggling to find a full-time job and make their ends meet. But one of them's just happy because she chooses to focus on all the positive bits of her life. And the other person is so unhappy because she's constantly focused on the fact that her life isn't enough. And watching those two live their lives made me really realize this topic, like, oh, it really is how you make it. Like, you really can be happy if you want to make your life happy and choose to be happy, and you can make your life miserable. Because the crazy thing is, this other friend who's very, very, very sad all the time, her parents are super generous and helps her financially. So she's been on so many incredible trips. Throughout the year, she's went home to see her family so many times. Whereas my other friend, she's not been on any trips, not that I know of. She's not been able to go home to see her family once. But she's happy. And the other one, who's been on so many trips, so unhappy. It's, I don't know, it made me think. 私が今回このトピックについて話したいなと思ったのは、私が祖母で見てきた友達2人がですね、なんかこのトピックの素晴らしい例みたいになったからなんですよ。どういうことかっていうと、私の1人の友達2人ともね、私一緒にマスターをやった子たちで、だからみんな同じ土俵にいるわけで、2人とも就職先が見つからなくて結構苦労してて、バーテンダーやったりとかカフェで働いたりとか、なんかそういうお仕事をしてるんですよね。別にそれは全然悪いことじゃないと思うんですけど。で、一人の子はすごくこう経済的に学生ローンとかもあって大変そうなんですよね。で仕事も3つ掛け持ちして一生懸命働きながら学生ローン返しながらみたいな感じで働いてるんですけど、彼女はいつもハッピーなんですよ。で、なんでかっていうと、私はこうやってエディンバラで暮らせてることがまず本当に幸せだと思うって言ってて、だから彼女はそうやって一生懸命コツコツ学生ローン返しながら残りのお金で美味しいご飯楽しんだりとか、なんか友達と出かけたりとか、少しの暇さえもうとにかくエディンバラでの生活を楽しもうって頑張ってるんですよ。もう一人の友達は経済的にはご両親がすごくねお手伝いをしてて、経済的にすごく別に苦労はしてないんですよ。彼女も何回もいろいろヨーロッパの国々に旅行行ったりとかして、で自分の母国にもね何回も帰って両親に会ったりとかして、すごくなんか私的にはね、いいじゃんっていう生活をしてるんですけど、彼女はいつも悲しい、いつもなんかどんよりしてて、でなんでかって聞くと、もう仕事が見つからない、自分がやりたい仕事ができないのが本当に不幸だって言ってるんですよ。でも彼女はそうやっていつも不幸だ私は仕事がないっていうことに集中しすぎて、すごくどんよりなムードを出して、だから周りの友達とも結構いざこざがあったんですよ。でどんどん一人ぼっちになっちゃってて、なんかこの2人を比べた時に2人とも同じ土俵にいて、なんなら1人の子はもっともう1人の子より大変なのに、そっちの子の方がハッピーっていうのを見た時に、やっぱりなんかこの幸せは選択肢だよっていうのは本当のような気がして、お金、もちろんねお金とか夢とかで叶えられるものもあるのかもしれないけど、意外とそういうのって関係ないんじゃないかなと思って、なんとなくそんな気がしたので、これについて話したいなと思ったんですよ。And another thing that I was thinking about when talking about this topic is I was listening to this podcast by Mel Robbins. I know she's very famous now with her what's her theory? Not let it be theory. What was it? Let them theory. And I was listening to a podcast on happiness, and I can't directly quote her because I'm terrible at that. I don't really remember exactly word to word what she said, but basically she said happiness isn't achieving something for yourself. Happiness isn't buying a really fancy car or buying a proper house. Or happiness isn't, achieving a gold medal. Happiness is what you give to others, and by giving to others, what you receive in return, naturally. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting concept. So she's basically saying that, there's a rain coming, a really strong one. Okay, sorry guys, that was really crazy. Like, I saw crazy rain coming, and it was raining like crazy on half of the park, and then wasn't on the other half. So I was like, wait, I can see that crazy rain's coming. And it did start raining. It did start raining like crazy. But anyways, where was I? Yeah, so don't quote me on this, but that's what basically she said. Maybe you can hear the rain. Really, the idea is that happiness isn't what you buy or what you achieve. It's more about how much you give to others. And by giving to others, you're not expecting to get anything back. But by giving to others, you end up surrounding yourself with good people, and you naturally get things in return, and that's what kind of built happiness. And I thought that was so interesting, because going back to my friend's example, my one friend who's always happy, she's also very generous and caring to her friends, and she will, even though she doesn't have a lot of money, she doesn't hesitate to give to others. And the other week, crazy thing happened to her, where one of her friends came to visit her in Edinburgh, and on the final day, she got a parcel, or like an envelope, from her friend that was visiting. And the friend was like, don't open it until I'm gone, please open it when I'm gone. So she opened it once her friend left, and found hundreds of pounds in the envelope. And basically what her friend wrote was that, you've been so generous and kind to us with your time and with your energy in terms of us visiting, and I know how you've been struggling financially, and we just wanted to show you how grateful we are, but also help you somehow. And please use this to pay back your student loans. And so her friend gifted her hundreds of pounds, which is crazy. But I think she deserved it because of how much she just genuinely loves to give people. And because she's so sweet and generous to people, the people around her are always willing to give back what she gives. And she just generates that happiness for herself. I thought that's wonderful. And I think that maybe is really what it is to be happy. You really can choose if you want to be happy or not. And once you decide to focus on the happy things and share that happiness with others, maybe that could bring a change in how happy you become. 最後、私がね、今回このトピックを話す上でもう一個言いたかったのが、私メル・ロビンスさんという方のポッドキャストを聞いてて、結構最近レッドム・テオリーって知ってるかな。で、結構有名になった方なんですけど、で彼女が、幸せについてのポッドキャストで話してたんですけど、そこで彼女が言ってたのが、これ私も前に聞いたことなので一言一言完全に合ってるわけではないんですけど、彼女が言ってたのはこんな感じですっていうことで、なんかその幸せっていうのはすごい車を買うとか豪邸に住むとか金メダルを取るとかそういうことじゃなくて、幸せっていうのは人に与えることであって、 人にたくさんいろんな人に周りの人に与えていくことによって、それが何かしらの形で自分に返ってくるから幸せのサイクルが生まれるんだよみたいな、そういう感じのことを言ってたんですよ。私それを聞いた時になるほどなって思って、さっきの2人の友人の例に戻ると、その1人のすっごいハッピーな子の方は本当に何も惜しまず友達のことをすごく大切にして、自分がお金カツカツの時も惜しまず友達に例えばご飯を分けてくれたりとか、これを見た時にあなたのことを思ったのって言って買ってきてくれたりとか、買ってきたおやつを分けてくれたりとか、全然惜しまずみんなに分け与えてくれるんですよ。そういう感じの子で、やっぱそういう感じの子だから周りに集まるみんなもすごくその子を慕ってて、でこの前ね、その子のお友達が遊びに来たんですよ、銀原に。それは昔の高校の時からの友達かな。遊びに来た時に楽しくね1週間半ぐらい遊んで帰るってなった時に、一つ封筒をね渡して帰ってたらしいんですよ。これ私が帰ってから開けてねって言われて、でその友達がその封筒を開けたら、中に何百ポンドか分かんないぐらいお札がいっぱい入ってたんですよ。でよくカードも一緒に入ってて読んでたら、あなたは本当にいつも私たちに惜しみなく優しくしてくれて、本当に今回の旅行は楽しかったし、一緒にエジンバラを散策できて楽しかったし、3つの仕事働きながら本当に大変だろうに、で学生ローンもあって苦しいの分かったから、少しでも何かお手伝いがしたいからさせてねって書いてあったんですよ。でそれを見てて、そういうことなんだなって、別にお金がね返ってくるとかそういうわけじゃないけど、こうやってこの子はいつも幸せを選んで周りの人にその幸せを分け与えて、でその幸せが自分に返ってきてっていう、こういうもうハッピーのサイクルがこの子の周りにはできてるから、だからこの子は結構辛い状況にいてもめげずにいつもニコニコ楽しく幸せでいられるんだなと思って、そういった意味で今回これを話したいなと思ったんですよ。So, to summarize this episode, this isn't an advice episode, this is something that I want to incorporate in my life, because I'm also still learning and I also want to get better at this. But what do you think? Do you think happiness is an option? Because I kind of think so. I want to be able to choose happiness every day, focus on happiness and share that happiness with other people. And I'm gonna try and see how much of a positive energy that brings back into my life. ということで、今回のエピソードこの辺にしようかと思うんですけど、皆さんはどう思いますか？幸せは選べるものだと思いますか？全然今回のエピソードはね、アドバイスエピソードとかでも何でもなくて、私がこうやって思ってるんだよねって感じで、いろいろ思ってるからこそ、自分もネガティブになっちゃう日もあるから、自分もこういう風に私の友達みたいに幸せにフォーカスを当てて、日々のちっちゃい幸せにフォーカスを当てて、でそれを周りの人にいっぱい分け与えてあげられるように自分もなりたいなと思って、今回これについて話してみました。人間だからね、落ち込んじゃう日もありますけど、落ち込んじゃう日こそちょっと立ち止まって3つ今日一日あった中で良かったこと書いてみてください。もしかしたら意外とそんな思ってたより悪い日じゃないじゃんって思えるかもしれません。At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and I think we have bad days, don't we? And we have days where we just feel down, but especially those days, maybe pick up a pen and paper and write down 3 things about your day that made it worthwhile. And maybe, who knows, it might change your perspective and you might think, oh, actually, my day wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad anyways. So that's it with this episode. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I really hope that the noise wasn't too bad. But it was nice because I got my steps in for the day. And I really hope the rain was okay. Yeah, that was crazy. And I really hope you enjoyed it and it gave you some inspiration on how to choose happiness for yourself. Because I think we all deserve it. ということで、今回のエピソードはこの辺までにします。音とかね、途中の豪雨とか大丈夫だったかな。ちょっと録音聞き直してみて、これを載せられそうかどうか考えてみようと思います。まあでもね、本当に皆さん幸せになる権利はありますので、せっかくなら幸せ選んでこうぜっていうことで。It started raining like crazy again, so I'm gonna go now. But thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I hope you enjoy the song of the week after this. 皆さん、また雨がひどく降ってきたので、ここまでにしようと思います。聞いてくれてありがとうございました。また来週も聞いていただけたら嬉しいです。1週間頑張りましょうね。この後の今週の1曲も楽しんでください。じゃあね。This week I'll be singing I Like You by Ben Rector. 今週は Ben Rector の I Like You を歌います。エピソード9でもね言ったんですけど、この歌詞の最後のラストサビの1個、ラストサビ前かのところでLife is not the mountain top, it's the walking in between っていうね歌詞が出てくるので、ぜひ注目してください。This is the song that I was talking about in the episode.And towards the end, like the bridge before the last chorus, I don't know how you call that bit, but basically that bit has the, it's the walking, life is not the mountain top, it's the walking in between. They have that quote, so have a listen. I hope you enjoy.There's no need to complicate it, dress it up or overstate it. Without too much hesitation, here's the way I feel. I like you, even when I don't try to. Yes, I do, that's the truth, I like you. 7 years is a long, long while, but somehow you still make me smile. I'd say it almost most the time, but here's the way I feel. I like you, just like you, even when I don't try to. Yes, I do, that's the truth, I like you.Got it all wrong, 'cause life is not the mountain tops, it's the walking in between, like you walking next to me, yeah.